Welcome! Today we're going to do an Adobe Premiere tutorial. This is for beginners, so we're going to start out with just bringing in clips, adding transitions, talking about some shortcuts, discussing the layout of Adobe Premiere, and then exporting your video. Let's begin. The first thing you're going to see when you open up Adobe Premiere is this screen. Let's make a new project. Then you're going to want to name the video. Let's call this beginner. And we're going to click OK. Here you're going to see something called sequence. This is like a scene in a film. You can add scenes together, or you could, in this case, we're just going to do everything on one single sequence. But you can add them for more advanced editing. So the first thing that we're going to see is this. The first thing we're going to want to do is add our video clips. I'm going to find my video clip, and I'm going to want to be dragging the video clip into Adobe Premiere. In order to do that, we want to see something called project, and then it'll have the name of your video. If you don't see this, and I want to add this, you can go to Window, go to Project, and then it'll appear. Let's add the video clip now. So you got to find your video clip, and then you're going to want to drag the video clip into this little folder right here at the bottom left of the screen. If you drag that in there, you'll find that Adobe Premiere shows the video clip in a folder right out here. And the nice thing is that it also adjusts the settings to your resolution of the video clip that you've dragged in. Let's add the video clip now that we've imported it here. I'm going to click on that and drag it here. Let's talk about some editing. If we wanted to play this video, you can either click this button here, or you can click space, as it's in the brackets there. Let's turn this on. So if we click play, you can see that's loading. If we wanted to watch this in full screen, you can click on this, and then press tilde. Let's talk about what tilde is. Tilde is this button right here on your keyboard. If you can find this button, you can watch Adobe Premiere full screen. So you'll click on the thing that you want to watch in full screen, and then press tilde. And you'll see that it shows up like that. And then you can click play, and you can see your video clip. You can also click on anything to make it full screen. Let's say the sequence. If I click on the sequence, you'll see it's highlighted here. And you press tilde, that now becomes the full screen. Let's start cutting up this video clip. If I wanted to split this in half, there's something called Tools. If you don't see this, go to Windows, make sure Tools is selected. To slice it up, there's something called Razor Tool, and you'll also see the letter C next to it. You'll notice these shortcuts here that also have letters right next to them. N, Y, C. You can use that instead of clicking on these buttons, and you'll find that very convenient when you're doing a lot of video clips. For now I'll just click that. Then you'll find your video clip, and you can click on the spot you want to cut. And now you'll notice that there's two video clips that I can now split like that. Let's say I didn't want, you'll notice that the audio is also connected to the video clip. Let's say I didn't want to do that. What if I only wanted to cut the audio, but I didn't want to cut the video? First, we need to separate these two from each other. To do that, you right click, click unlink, and now you'll notice that the video can be separated and moved away from the audio. Now we can slice and dice the audio clip without affecting the video. What if I wanted to delete something, but I wanted everything to move in place? How do we do that? Let's give you an example here. If I wanted to delete this, and I click clear or I click delete on my keyboard, you'll notice there's a space here. And if I were to play, there's just going to be a space all of a sudden. It's just going to be black and there's nothing there. So when I delete, I usually want everything to move back in place. So how do we do that? Let's right click, and then you'll see something called ripple delete. When I click that, everything else will move in place. Some other shortcuts that are useful is the undo and redo. To undo is just Control Z. To redo is Control Shift Z. Let's talk about adding effects and transitions. If I wanted to add an effect, how do I do that? I go to Effects. Once again, if you don't see that, go to Windows, make sure this Effects is selected. Now let's go and add a video transition. I'm going to choose a dissolve. For now, I'll just do a cross dissolve. I'm going to zoom in to look at this. You can do it this way manually, or you can press the Alt key on your keyboard and then scroll with your mouse. That also works. To add the transition, I'm going to find two clips that actually, they need to be different so I can really show you what's going on. Yeah, okay, that's obviously different. So I'm going to click on the transition, and you'll see that little something is appearing here, and that's the transition. So you'll see the transition has appeared between these two clips, at the end of this clip and the beginning of this clip. Let's play this just to see what this looks like. Yeah, we can see that little ghostly image fade dissolving there. You can make it longer to begin earlier in the clip. So if we click this, you can see it slowly appearing, which is kind of cool. Okay, that's how you add a transition. You can also do that for audio transitions, which is quite useful if you want to be doing that kind of stuff. Sometimes you will get a video clip that is not quite the right size. Let me see if I can give an example. Sometimes you'll get a video clip that is too small, that looks like this, and you want this, and all your video clips look just like this, and it's not showing up full screen, so when you play, there's still this black around the edge. So to do that, you go to Effects Controls, Windows Effects Controls, and you go to Motion, Scale, and then you can, when you move this left and right, you can make this full size. Okay, so we've done our video, we've done our editing, we've added our transitions. Let's say we're happy with this. Yep, I like this video. I'm going to export this video. So to do that, you go to File, you go to Export, you go to Media. This screen will appear. Make sure that these little things here are completely yellow. Yellow from beginning to end, because otherwise it's going to trim everything else that's in this little area. So just make sure that they're all the way to the left, all the way to the right. If you're exporting to YouTube, this format works fine. Otherwise you can pick your desired format. Here is where you rename your video. If you click on this, you can change the name of the video to whatever you want to call it. You want to call it beginner, whatever. And then you just click export. Once you've done that, you've made your video. Congratulations. You can click export and your video will appear once it's done rendering, and you can use your video for whatever purposes. So that's our tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of material in there. Just go back and take a look at all the little steps and you'll be fine. Hope you enjoyed this. Good luck.